When did you punch her?
When did I punch her? When she was pulling on my hood, like real aggressive and pulling me down.
Well, she's speaking to the guy who is charged with supervising.
She doesn't supervise me.
Okay.
Welcome back to Courtroom Chronicles. Today's case has everything. Late night drama, a baby at the center, and a man who claims he was just being a good dad. But was it fatherly love or criminal chaos? Stick around because this one takes twists you won't see coming.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're present in the matter of State of Ohio versus Michael Ward, Jr., case number 23-CR000498. The defendant is present with defense counsel Lauren Tuttle. We are here for purposes of the sentencing hearing. We were previously in court on July 19, 2023, where the defendant pled guilty to a lesser included offense of count 3, attempted abduction, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of revised code sections 2903.02 and 2905.02A1. Count 4, failure to comply with order or signal of police officer, a felony of the 4th degree, in violation of revised code section 2921.331B. Count 5, domestic violence, a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, in violation of revised code section 2919.25A. And count 6, child endangering, a misdemeanor of the 1st degree, in violation of revised code section 2919.22A. The defendant was found guilty and the court ordered a pre-sentence investigation and report and victim impact statement. The state has had the opportunity to review that report and is prepared to proceed with sentencing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tuttle.
Thank you. Your Honor, Michael would request that the court place him on a period of community control sanctions. His actions in the instant case were inappropriate. He acknowledges that. However, his motivation here was to be a good father to his daughter, Milani. More than anything, he wants to be a parent. He wants to be somebody that's active in his child's life. He doesn't want his daughter to grow up not knowing her family and not knowing her father. On the night that this occurred, his intentions were to spend some time with his daughter. He acknowledges that everything he did that evening got out of control, that his conduct was inappropriate, that the way that he acted towards his child's mother was not okay. He acknowledges that he did commit this conduct, but would ask the court for the resources and the opportunity to try and build himself a better foundation to be a good dad and to be present in his child's life. Michael acknowledges that he has 4 pending cases in Cuyahoga County that he does need to take care of. He would ask this court to place him on probation during the time that he is taking care of those cases. He intends to take some of those cases to trial. I know that he denies the allegations that are pending against him. Michael would like the opportunity to get some treatment. He has been talking with the social workers over at my office. There's a facility called Ethan's Crossing in Cuyahoga County that will accept him for residential drug treatment if this court determines that that is an appropriate place for him to go. It's pretty difficult to find somewhere that will accept him because he does still need to register as a sex offender, but the facility is aware of that and will accept him. So Michael would ask for credit for the 120 days that he has served in this case, for a period of community control sanctions, and for treatment and assistance and anything that he can do to get back on his feet to be the father that I know that he wants to be for his daughter. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ward, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence in this case?
I'll just ask for the mercy of the court.
3 minutes in, and we already have the defense begging for community control instead of prison. Sounds noble, right? But here's the kicker. This man has 4 pending cases and needs to register as a sex offender. So, do you think probation is fair here, or is prison the only way to keep people safe? Let us know.
My lawyer, Lauren Tuttle, couldn't put it in better words than I can myself. The incident that occurred was just a situation with me just wanting to be a dad and me seeing my daughter. I do acknowledge that my actions and the things that I did to escalate the situation was wrong, but I just wanted to see my daughter, and that's pretty much it.
This occurred last March, right?
Yes.
How old was your daughter?
I believe at the time she was 10 months.
Okay, and you went over there like at 8:30 at night?
Yes.
Why did you go over there?
I spoke with my child's mother prior to me even coming there, and I told her I was on my way and that I was coming. Me and her go through these kind of things all the time. When she's not happy with me or we're at odds, it's kind of a weird thing. I really can't explain it, but it's never been a problem with me seeing my child later than 8:30. She spends the night with me. I pick her up. She gets dropped off. it was just bad timing, I guess, on a personal level with me and her mother. But I went over there to see my daughter.
Didn't she tell you not to come over?
No, she did not.
All right. So what happened when you got there?
When I got there, I picked my daughter up. She was sitting on Charlene's lap, and Charlene is the grandmother of the household. She was sitting on her lap. I just picked my daughter up, and I was walking around in circles with her. I was talking to her, just being a normal dad. Mackenzie, my child's mother, was in the other living room, and that's when she poked her head up, and she just made a big scene, told me to leave, and things just escalated from there.
How did they escalate?
I was still holding my daughter. I told her nobody in the house, which is Todd and Tamara, which is the owners of the home, which is her aunt and her uncle, they never had a problem with me being there. I go there often. It's never been a problem.
All right, you just told me things escalated. What escalated? What happened?
It escalated because I'm telling her, like, just stop talking to me. Like, I didn't come for you. I'm not bothering you. I'm not doing anything negative to you. I just wanted to come see my daughter. Like, why are you talking to me? From there, we got in each other's face, and I spit on her. I was getting surrounded. It was just a hectic, chaotic thing.
Why did you spit on her?
I don't know. It was wrong. I definitely acknowledge that, but I don't know. Tempers just flaring. I just really want to see my daughter. That was it. And I didn't have no understanding of why I couldn't. It was no blatant reason why I could. Still to this day, if you ask her why I couldn't, it's no valid reason at all besides just a control situation.
Well, we're not here to figure out custody and visitation. We're here to figure out what happened. So what else happened after you spit on her?
I was getting surrounded by her.
So now Michael admits he showed up at 8:30 p.m. when he knew the baby's routine. Not exactly the smartest move. And remember, there were people at the house, tensions high, and a 10-month-old in the middle of it all. Tell me, is this a dad fighting for his child, or someone who just can't follow boundaries?
Uncles and whoever else was in the household, I really don't recall. I really don't know their names. It's a very family-oriented place. A lot of people come visit and frequent, so it was a lot just going on. But at the time, I spit on her because she was grabbing. I had something around my neck. She was grabbing me, hold me by my collar. It was just a lot going on.
Where was your daughter?
She was in my hands.
Okay. So what else happened?
That time, she kind of like backed off. I'm still walking in circles. I'm just telling her to leave me alone. Like, just have my daughter in my hand.
Right.
Then I walked out the door. She chased after me.
Did she tell you not to take your daughter?
My intentions was never to take my daughter.
What?
My intentions was never to take my daughter.
Okay. Did she, when you left the house with your daughter, did she tell you?
She told me to put her down and leave multiple times. Yes, she did.
All right. And what did you do?
I did.
Okay. So where did you go?
I just went towards the door. When I went towards the door, towards the screen door, she chased after me and was pulling on my hood,
Okay, then what happened?
of my jacket.
Then what happened?
At the time, I'm like going down the stairs. I still got my daughter in my hand. She followed me outside, but she's still pulling on me, and she's still trying to get in between me and the baby. And then I started swinging on her.
You started what?
I started swinging on her so she
You're
could get off.
holding your daughter and you're swinging at her?
I'm swinging. I'm holding my daughter, but I'm using my other hand to like get her off of me. Start swinging on her.
Did you take your daughter?
No, I did not.
Okay, how did you hand her over?
Yes, I hand her over. Yes, I did.
When did you punch her?
When did I punch her? When she was pulling on my hood, like real aggressive and pulling me down.
Okay.
So it was just really just a reaction to just kind of defending myself in a sense.
So you punched her
Yes,
while you're holding your daughter.
yes, but
How is that good for your daughter? You're talking about how you wanted to be a good father, and that's what you were doing there. How is it good for this dispute to happen, whoever was right or wrong, and then for you to be holding your daughter and punching her? How does that help anything?
It doesn't, sir. And I acknowledge that I could have handled things totally different in the situation, for sure. But I was getting dragged and pulled around at the same time. intentionally just want to punch her, but I'm defending myself and trying to get all these people off of me.
And then you left, right, in the car?
Yeah, I left.
In the rent-a-car?
Yes.
Okay. Whose car was that?
I rented the car.
I know, whose car was it?
I rented the car from a rental company. I rented the car.
What rental company?
She brokers a lot of cars, but she got a business. It's called Exotic Slingshot Rentals.
Okay. So then, where did you go?
Where did I go? I went home.
You just went right home?
Yeah, I just went home.
Anybody follow?
Whoa! He just admitted to spitting on the mother and punching her while holding his daughter. Imagine that. And when the judge asks why, he says, I don't know. Seriously? Is losing control like that ever excusable when a baby's in your arms? Comment below, because I need your take on this one.
Follow you on the way home?
No.
No police car?
No, the police got behind me and cut their lights on.
And then what?
I kept going. I got on the freeway.
So you didn't stop?
No, I didn't.
That's not the first time you've done that, right?
No, it ain't.
And why didn't you stop?
I don't know.
Well,
And
you're the one who was in the car driving. Why didn't you stop?
In the heat of the moment, it was just a lot going on. I just went home.
How fast were you going?
I can't tell you, sir. I don't know.
Well, faster than them, right?
Yeah,
Because your intention was to get away from them.
yeah.
Right. What street did you go down?
What street did I go down?
Yeah.
I'm not really from Lake County, so I don't really know. I know.
Well, you know where
I
she
went
lives.
down.
Where,
yeah, I
where
went
does
down.
she live?
Went down Lakeshore, and by the time I got to the light to get towards the freeway, I was already by the freeway. That's when they got behind me. I got on the freeway.
So they tried to stop you on Route 91, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Then
I got on the freeway and went home.
And you knew you weren't supposed to do that, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you know if you go a certain speed that they're not going to chase you, right?
Yes.
When this happened on March 18th, you were out on bond on some cases in Cuyahoga County, right?
Yes.
Okay, which cases?
I had a felony drug trafficking case.
All right, back in 18, you were convicted of failure to comply with the order or signal of a police officer, right?
Yes, I never got the chance to take that to trial because I was sitting on a case that I had nothing to do with, and they just gave me time credit at the end. And
So you didn't really do it? They just,
Nope.
You just pled to it because?
I didn't plead to it. I just got credited for it by the judge. I never got a chance to plead guilty, plead not guilty.
Okay.
I just got time credit for it, so I can go home.
Was he convicted of that?
No.
Yes.
All right. In March 22nd of 18.
I don't have the date directly in front of me. I can find it for you, but I know it was in 2018.
Are you on being supervised on your Minnesota case by the Ohio Parole Office?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how are they supervising you? What do they do?
I'm on probation.
Just when you think it's over, nope. He grabs the baby, takes off in a rental car, and ends up in a police chase. And he even admits he sped up so they'd stop chasing. That's not protecting your child, that's endangering her. Do you agree he made things 10 times worse right here?
I know. What do they do?
They make me come report every week.
Right. How do they monitor you?
They come see me, they call me, they make me report.
Are you supposed to wear a monitor?
Yes,
Do you wear it?
yes.
Okay. Has there been any problems with that to your knowledge, Ms. Hronik?
Yes, significant problems to my knowledge after speaking with the parole officer and the parole officer supervisor.
What kind of problems?
According to Mark Klima, the parole officer supervisor, he has been on electronic monitoring since August. He doesn't obey the rules. He doesn't charge his GPS. It's always dead. Usually, the APA only puts somebody on GPS for 120 days, but they have to keep getting special permission to extend the defendant's GPS because he refuses to comply with keeping it charged, and they had to put a hold on him because since his GPS is always dead, they had no idea where he was.
Why is that?
I don't have no problems with my,
So-
she didn't speak to the head of.
Who?
Mrs. Reed
Okay.
is the head of the parole board, so I don't know who she's speaking of.
Well, she's speaking to the guy who who's charged with
She
supervising
doesn't
you.
supervise me.
Okay. Well, then
That's not my probation officer, and
Th-
before I
then-
caught this case, I was already set to get off my, ankle monitor. I talked to my probation officer.
Okay, so they're making things up over there at the parole board.
I'm not saying she making it up, but I'm telling you from my standpoint.
Okay,
Judge, just to be clear, the
Sure.
person that I spoke to is his parole officer's supervisor.
okay.
But not my parole officer.
All right. She just said the parole officer supervisor, so I heard that, okay? All right? You think, you've got to have the last word for everything, right?
I'm just trying to get a clear understanding.
I got a clear understanding, that's why I asked the question, okay? Because I already knew you weren't complying with your obligations to the parole authority who's supervising you for your sex offense in Minnesota, right? Right? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't like to do what you're supposed to do when you're on probation. You don't like to do what you're supposed to do when you're out on bond on other cases. And you come in here wanting probation.
Judge, just to make the record clear on one more matter, you had asked about the, whether the defendant was convicted of the failure to comply, felony of the 4th degree, and he did enter a plea of guilty to that and was sentenced on December 14th, 2020. I have the journal entry in front of me.
Okay. Is that right?
I never plead guilty. I got time credit. I
Can
got found.
do you have that with you?
I do, yes.
Can I see that?
There has to be a conviction, I think.
And I'm telling you how I went to court. He asked me did I plead guilty. I never plead guilty.
Now, it gets even messier. He's on electronic monitoring and still breaking rules. GPS dead, refusing to charge it, state had to fight just to keep tracking him. At this point, is he even trying to follow the law, or just proving he can't be trusted? What do you think?
You would have had to plead guilty. The judge can't just plead guilty without you pleading it.
I guess.
So when it says here, defendant retracts former plea of not guilty and enter plea of guilty to failure to comply with the order, signal of a police officer, that's not accurate? Is that not accurate?
That's accurate.
Okay, so you did plead guilty.
Yep.
Okay, so why did you just tell me you didn't plead guilty?
I was sitting for a case that
I know, why did you tell me you didn't plead
because
guilty?
I never verbally stated that I pleaded guilty. That was that's something that she ran with my days that I already had served in the county. And
So
she gave me time
when you
credit.
were on this hearing by Zoom, when it says you retracted your former plea of not guilty and entered a plea of guilty to failure to comply, you didn't say that on that hearing?
No,
You
it
didn't say-
wasn't
what
a
did you
Zoom
say?
hearing. It wasn't a Zoom hearing.
Okay, then we gotta find out why Judge Madej is lying down there in Cuyahoga County. We better
Because
figure
it wasn't
that
a
out.
Zoom hearing.
It wasn't a Zoom hearing, okay. You know what? You and I are in different realities, apparently. What else you gotta say?
Nothing further.
Anything else from you, Ms. Tuttle?
Your Honor, in speaking with Michael just now, I think he's pretty confused about the events that happened when he was in Cuyahoga County. He was in there for over 500 days. He was acquitted of charges on one case. I think that his eventual convictions on those other cases were the result of plea bargaining and negotiations. And I think that he's a little bit confused and mistaken about what may have happened there.
Well, see, I don't view it that way. I think he doesn't like to be honest. I think that's what his problem is, because the record, as contained in the pre-sentence report, indicates that Mr. Ward knows a lot about this criminal justice system. From his juvenile conviction for abduction and gross sexual imposition, and subsequent falsification, obstructing official business, to his adult conviction of this, failure to comply, to various other charges that are currently pending. And as I indicated, when he was out on bond on those, he committed this. So Mr. Ward, I don't think, is the least bit confused about how this system operates. Ms. Ronick?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state is asking that the court impose a sentence of 15 months on count 3 and 15 months on count 4 to be served consecutively to each other. Specifically to the incident that happened here, the defense has stated that all the defendant was trying to...
We're almost at the verdict, but the prosecutor isn't playing around, listing every violation, every broken rule. Honestly, if you were the judge, how would you sentence him? Drop a number in the comments, 2 years, 5 years, or max it out.
Do was be a good father. And I know the court did address some of this with the defendant, but the state would just like to reiterate that this happened March 18th. It was snowing when this happened. There's video of the defendant striking the mother of his 10-month-old child with his 10-month-old in his arms. The only reason people were surrounding him and pulling on him is because he was attempting to walk out the door with the 10-month-old into the snow. She did not have a coat on, and the people were attempting to get the baby back from him, and the baby was only able to be pulled out of his arms as he punched the mother and started running towards his vehicle. I don't think there was any concern for being a good father to the 10-month-old at that point. As for whether he's amenable to community control, the record is abundantly clear that he is not amenable to community control. Not only was he on supervision from the Adult Parole Authority for his sex offense from Minnesota, he was out on bond on his numerous pending cases, and he has committed failure to comply in the past. He has a pending failure to comply, as well as several drug cases, felonies of the first degree and felonies of the second degree. And he has never shown that he can be compliant with community control or any court orders whatsoever. So the state believes that prison is necessary in this case to protect the public. Thank you.
Where did the video come from?
There is a ring-type camera on the front of the residence.
So where was the child when she was struck by Mr. Ward?
The child was in his arms.
Okay. All right. I've reviewed the pre-sentence report, and I've reviewed the victim impact statement. I've considered what counsel has said, what Mr. Ward has said. I've considered all aspects of 29-29-11, 29-29-12, 29-29-13, and 29-29-14. You are very clearly not amenable to community control based upon your record that exists, including the fact that you were out on bond when this offense was committed. And while you like to give short shrift to what happened here, right, the fact is you went over there when told not to go over there. You attempted to take your daughter from the house, and then you struck your daughter's mother while you were holding your daughter. And then, on that...
The judge is basically done with excuses, asking the real question, how is any of this good for your daughter? And you know what? He doesn't have an answer. That silence speaks volumes, doesn't it? Tell me if you think the judge is being too harsh or just right.
Evening where there was snow on the ground, you fled from the police, putting yourself, the police officers, people on the road in peril. So you are not amenable to community control. On count 3, I'm going to sentence you to 18 months in prison. On count 4, 18 months in prison. On count 5, 180 days in jail. On count 6, 180 days in jail. Counts 3 and counts 4 will be consecutive to each other. Counts 5 and 6 will be concurrent to counts 3 and 4 and each other. You receive credit for 120 days that you've served. The consecutive sentence is necessary to protect the public from future crime by you and to appropriately punish you, and they are not disproportionate to the seriousness of your conduct and the danger that you pose to the public. This offense was committed in counts 3, 4, 5, and 6 when you were on bond out of Cuyahoga County, and your history of criminal conduct demonstrates that consecutive sentences are necessary to protect the public from future crime.
Before we hear the sentence, let's recap. Michael Ward Jr., late night visit, domestic violence, spitting, punching, running from police, GPS violations, the works. All while saying he just wanted to be a good dad. So, what's your verdict? Should he get another chance, or is prison the only answer? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love real courtroom drama, hit like and subscribe for more cases like this.
By you. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority. If you violate the conditions, the parole authority could return you to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. If the violation is a new felony, you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation, the maximum of which would be the greater of 12 months at the time you have left on post-release control. On count 4, I'm going to impose a driver's license suspension of 10 years. The costs are assessed. Is there anything further, Ms. Hronik?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Tuttle?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're adjourned.